Welcome back to the Fan Channel Review. Gareth Southgate, should he be sacked? I'm going to give you my opinion. I want your opinion in the comment sections below. But let's take a look at what some of the biggest and best across the social media and content creation world have got to say. Let's start with Mr. Mark Goldbridge.
Action, and most of this will just be about what a crap manager Southgate is. In fact, this ain't going to get worn again, is it? I only wore. I mean, I look at Pratt in it. I was only wearing it to bloody.
He's a Pratt.
Because we beat Iran. Get that off straight away. Anyway, England 0, USA 0. I'm sure we'll get the same old shit coming out from Harry Kane and bloody Southgate about how it's a good result. We've had to work really hard. Credit to USA. Piss off. Fucking hell. We wait 4 years for the World Cup and we get delivered that shite.
He's right, though. Goldbridge is absolutely 110% spot on. I haven't even looked on Twitter for what they've said. I didn't watch any of the interviews. There is nothing that Southgate and the players can say to justify or make us feel better about that performance.
I didn't think that could happen. I thought we had the confidence from the Iran game that we'd go and set some tempo in the first 10 minutes, that we'd go and sort of impress ourselves on the game. And effectively, from minute 1 to minute 90, it was lethargic, it was shit, it was slow, it was pragmatic, it was conservative. And I'm sorry, I've played the game. You've watched the game. You've played the game. That was from the manager. The manager set that up all week.
I agree completely. We even see that with the substitutions that were made. Nearly 70 minutes on the clock before an attacking substitution was made to change things. Unacceptable.
He basically said, look, let's be pragmatic and conservative. Let's not go out there and do anything stupid. We've had a good start to the World Cup. We've got 3 points. Let's not go out there and leave ourselves open because they've got pace on the break. Let's be careful about what we do. Let's feel our way into the game. Let's see how it goes. And ultimately, we lost the momentum from minute 1. USA totally deserved a point. I don't know whether they did enough to win it. I mean, our man of the match was Harry Maguire and probably John Stones with him. We defended well through the middle. But the midfield got dominated. We did nothing up front. And the actual man of the match, you've got to take your pick from USA players. We were woefully second place in most areas. I think if USA were Brazil or France or a team that's a little bit more confident in the final third, they'd have beat us. USA are still a team that is learning. They're still an experienced young side. And that basically is the same as Canada against Belgium. Belgium managed to win that game, but Canada were better. We weren't even good enough to nick a goal. I can't remember a decent opportunity in the second half. You'd think after the first half, there'd be a bollocking at half time. And like I said during the watch along, any decent manager would say to that team, that's not good enough, lads, at half time. That's not good enough. You've got 10 minutes. And if you don't change it, I'm going to change you.
And that's it. And Marks hits the nail on the head there. That's where the pressure has to come in from the manager. And I remember I was excited for the second half. Very excited for the second half, thinking we can't be as bad. The bigger teams very rarely are that bad again in the second half. And we got worse. In my opinion, we got worse until the substitutions. When Jack Grealish came on, there was more impetus. He ran at his men. He took people on. But our manager wasn't brave enough to do that 20 minutes earlier. I feel maybe with another 20 minutes of Grealish on the pitch, another 20 minutes extra with Rashford on the pitch, and taking off Mason Mount, making a more aggressive and forward-thinking substitution, Mount for Phil Foden, England could have got nicked the win. Could have nicked the win. Yes, we may have lost, but there'd only be 1 point difference. A draw or a defeat, we still got to beat Wales to absolutely guarantee that we get through. It was absolutely shocking. It truly was.
Nepotism. If you don't understand what nepotism is, it's favouritism. And this team is riddled with it. He's got his favourites. Harry Kane, Harry Maguire, Jordan Pickford, Raheem Sterling, Mason Mount. He won't change. He won't make those changes.
And he should be making those changes. And I think that for me, we've seen that with a certain manager at Manchester United who stuck with his favourites far too long. That caused problems. I want to show you actually a clip here from DR Sport. Something that Lee Judges said. Now, I think this is absolutely key.
It's an unfit Harry Kane on all game. Why? That'd be my question if I was in there, you know.
He says, how is Southgate wasting this England team, man? He's not really wasting it, mate. It's a draw. It's not the end of the world. In fact, it puts us in a strong position.
See, I want to go back to what Lee Judges said there for a moment. That was another a key factor. Harry Kane started okay, some good hold-up play, but he just wasn't at the races. Take him off. Rest him. Like, reserve his fitness for another game and try something else because it wasn't working. I don't want England to make the same mistake that Spurs did under Pochettino, where even if he wasn't fit, Kane played, and I think it hindered them. It went towards costing Spurs a genuine opportunity of winning the Champions League, and I think our manager could be doing the same here. Let's take a look at Rory Jennings and what he had to say, because he goes a little deeper than Goldbridge does.
Genuinely so gutted. That was limp. That was pathetic. And I now ask the question, has anyone ever succeeded and sacked a manager mid-tournament?
Sacking a manager mid-tournament. I just want you to tell me and give me your take on that. And what do you feel about that? Because I didn't want Southgate going into this tournament. What we saw last night is what I expected. What we may end up getting for the rest of the campaign is a good result against Wales. We beat a team well in the last 16. We have a tight quarterfinal and get to a semi and go out, and everybody will say it's a semi-final. We've got to stay with the manager. But why do we go out? Are we in a position where we're going to bottle it like we did last night? Bottle it like we did against Scotland? Bottle it like we did after going 1-0 up against Italy? Are we going to bottle it like after we went 1-0 up against Croatia? We had a good 10 minutes spell after that, and then we just sunk back, and no real proactive changes to try and move the needle in the game. What do you think? Could you sack a manager mid-tournament?
Do we need to now think along those lines? Like, it was such a diabolical performance, and Gareth Southgate was at the epicenter of everything that went wrong for England. He was fully responsible for that performance. Just think about what he has done there. Like, Gareth Southgate has made terrible decision after terrible decision, and it's cost England massively. Pep Guardiola, one of the best managers to have ever walked the face of the earth, has seen an awful lot of Raheem Sterling, Phil Foden, and Jack Grealish. Pep Guardiola knows them really well. And Pep Guardiola has concluded that Phil Foden is the best of the lot. How Gareth Southgate has concluded that he is the worst of the lot is completely and utterly unforgivable.
And that is a great point there by Rory. It's a great point. It is unforgivable. It completely and utterly is unforgivable that Phil Foden is sitting on that bench and has barely kicked a ball so far at this tournament and didn't even get onto the field of play yesterday. You could have tried all manner of things yesterday. You could have taken Mason Mount off. Okay. Remember, 5 subs. Mason Mount could have come off. Grealish comes on and plays in a more of a 10 role. Foden can drift out to that left-hand side. You bring Rashford onto the right. Maybe you do keep Harry Kane on. Suddenly then you've changed his shape slightly. Yes, you're going to have to get, Rashford and Foden and Grealish are going to have to help back out in that midfield when we're out of possession. But they do that for their club anyway. All of them do it for their club. It was a shocking decision. And I saw this clip on a US-based program. Take a listen here to what this pundit has to say.
World Cup finalists in the Euros. Mm-hmm. Golden generation. A very good team. But you made this team, I think you exposed them a bit. What you exposed is their manager. Southgate is not at the level of his players.
And I think that there, if you boil everything down that we spoke about last night on the terrace, what Goldbridge has said, Rory Jennings has said, Lee Judges, and everybody else out there has said, that there in the space of, I don't know how many seconds that was, 19 seconds, is Gareth Southgate in a nutshell. The players are above his level, and he does not know how to get the very best out of them. He's kind of playing with us how you should play if you're the manager of Northern Ireland, if you're the manager of Luxembourg, if you're the manager of Austria, if you're the manager of Bolivia, if you're the manager of a smaller nation who pound for pound can't compete with the big boys. We have maybe not the best squad at this tournament, but we have one of the best squads at the tournament. One of the most valuable squads in the world. And our manager is failing miserably at getting the best out of them. He absolutely is. And I stand by what I've heard everybody say today, and I said it last night. I absolutely said it last night. How Mason Mount stayed on that football pitch is beyond me. It is absolutely, categorically beyond me. It makes absolutely no sense why he stayed on that football pitch. Phil Foden not playing, in my opinion, is one of the most mind-boggling decisions and criminal acts I've seen within football. Shocking. Keeping Harry Kane on the pitch injured is misconduct at the very least. And the negative approach, the going into a game against the USA, and I mean this with absolute respect because they worked hard, ran hard, moved the ball very well yesterday. The likes of Tyler Adams in the middle, sensational performance. But England yesterday went into a game against the USA so pragmatically, so defensively, with such a negative mindset. There was almost no way the levels were going to be raised high enough to pick up the win. And I don't personally support the idea of sacking in mid-tournament. Who the hell are you actually going to be able to bring in? And I think Rory Jennings is, of course, being it's just airing his frustrations. But I understand why he's thinking it. I understand Goldbridge's problem. And it's interesting to listen to so many content creators this morning who share the same thoughts and feelings on the manager. But yet you still get so many people out there in the media for the past year defending him. Now, I hope that we all end up being wrong at this tournament. We turn it around, we go to another level, we win the damn thing. Or at least have a very good a number of very good performances before we go out. But we may rue the decision to stick with Gareth Southgate after a terrible last 12 months, in my opinion, on the pitch. We saw it manifest itself last night in that performance against the United States. But I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. When should Southgate go? If he should go, in your opinion. Are you as harsh as Rory? Do it. Get it done now. End of the tournament. Wait and see until Harry performs. What's your thoughts and what's your feelings? Make sure you like the video. Make sure you download the OneFootball app as well. The QR code's on the screen. Link is in the description as well. And how do you think England are going to get on against Wales? I want to know right now in the comment section. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.